episode of What's for Dinner. It is Monday night. It is very cold outside. In fact, right now, I can't see it is 30 degrees outside. Isn't that special? It doesn't usually get that cold here around this time of year, but it's the way it is. We actually got a half an inch of snow here Saturday night, so that was exciting. It's all gone now, though. Trying to decide what to have for dinner, and I'm going to make a quick minestrone. We're going to call this quick and dirty minestrone because when I work and I have to do a draft, I call it a quick and dirty draft. So I'm going to call it quick and dirty minestrone because it's one I'm just going to throw together with things from the freezer and some cans and some broth and some ground beef, and then I'm going to put some shell pasta in it. So let's see what goes in here. I'm going to use a pound of ground beef. This is some grass-fed organic that I was able to get at the grocery store. I'm going to put in a chopped onion. I'm going to put in some chopped garlic, some vegetable stock, some diced tomatoes. I'm going to drain this can of kidney beans and use them. And then I also have, I found this. It's called Soup Mix, and this is my grocery store brand. It's got potatoes, carrots, peas, green beans, lima beans, okra, celery, and onions. And I know that traditionally you wouldn't put okra in minestrone, but oh well, that's how it is. I bought 2 bags of this, as well as a bag of yellow squash. It has okra in it, honey. And I'm going to toss that in as well. This saves you a lot of chopping and what have you. We're also going to put in some baby shell pasta, and we're going to put in some oregano, some basil, and some Italian seasoning. And I know that I have vegetable stock because these were buy one get one free and they didn't have any beef stock. So I'm going to throw in a couple of tablespoons of my Shirley J bouillon to richen the broth. So let's get started. Oh yeah, and my other secret ingredient. This is a Parmesan rind. This is Parmigiano Reggiano that you get in the specialty cheese deli at my grocery store. And if you can get it at Whole Foods as well and a lot of other places. When they grind up the Parmesan cheese, that giant wheel that's like $300, they actually cut the rind off of it. If you toss this in your soup while it's simmering, all of that good salty richness that's in the cheese rind will actually cook into your soup. Now, you don't eat this, you just fish it out at the end and it just lends all of its deliciousness into your soup. So I'm going to toss that in once we get all of this going, and I'm going to let it simmer for a half an hour, and then I'm going to fish it out at the end. So I'm going to start browning off my ground beef, and then I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay, we're back. It's been about, I'd say, 7-10 minutes, something like that. And there goes Sissy again. While I was gone, I browned off the meat. I threw in the onions. I threw in 2 big spoonfuls of garlic. And I also threw in a teaspoon each. Italian seasoning, oregano, and basil. Dry basil. All 3 dried seasonings that I showed you. And I'm just going to come over here and let the dogs outside so they'll shut up. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in my tomatoes. This is just a 28-ounce can of diced tomatoes. And the best part about minestrone is it can be whatever you want it to be. Minestrone is really vegetable soup. I am making with the ground beef. The other great part, here we're going to put in our vegetable stock. I've got 2 quarts of vegetable stock. You can have minestrone with no meat in it. You can have any vegetable that you prefer to have. This is a make it to your liking soup. The other great part about it is a fabulous pantry meal. You can make this soup entirely out of your food storage. If you have freeze-dried beef chunks, or freeze-dried ground beef, or even freeze-dried TVP, beef TVP, pork TVP, chicken TVP, go ahead and use that. Fantastic. I'm going to put a couple of tablespoons of my Shirley J beef seasoning. This is beef bouillon. You've seen me use this before. I am a Shirley J representative, but if you want to know, I've never sold one single thing, but I am an executive chef for Shirley J. And that's all right. And give this a stir. a can of drained kidney beans. Add more beans if you like. I was gonna put white beans in here too, but I didn't end up having any in the cupboard, so make a note. Here is our Parmesan rind. I'm gonna toss that in there. Here is one of those bags of mixed veggies.
Put them in the frozen?
Yes, and they are frozen. Let's see. Oh, whoopsie. Here is the second bag of frozen vegetables. And here's what fell out when I let it fall on the counter. And I was going to put the squash in here, but I don't think I'm going to now because the pot looks nice and full. It looks really good. So, we're going to bring this up to a boil. Then I'm going to throw in a cup and a half of these little shell pastas. Like that. You can use elbow macaroni, you can use orzo, you can use anything really. Break up some spaghetti and throw it in there, it'll be wonderful. So I'm gonna bring this up to a simmer. When I come back, we'll toss in the pasta and then, well actually, I'll toss in the pasta when it comes to a simmer. When we come back, I'm gonna fix you a bowl. So I'll be back in just a little while. Okay, we're ready to go. We've simmered this. I threw in a cup and a half of little shell pasta and it cooked it until it was tender. And now it's ready to fix you a plate or a bowl, as the case may be. I did want to point out that I did fish out those Parmesan rinds, and you can see they get nice and soft. This actually broke in half, but it lends a wonderful flavor to the soup. So if you see the rinds, sometimes they'll sell them just to get rid of them, and maybe you can ask your deli if you don't see them. Sometimes they throw them away. Horror! Don't waste like that. It has a wonderful amount of flavor still left in it, so you should always use it. Throw them in your freezer. They don't go bad. Okay, so here we go. Wonderful bowl on a hot, really cold night. We just looked at the thermometer. Outside temperature is now 28 degrees. Bring it over here. We bought a giant loaf of sourdough bread. Help yourself to some freshly grated Parmigiano Reggiano. That'll be a perfect accompaniment to this. I also like to add copious amounts of cracked black pepper. So, there you have it. Quick and dirty minestrone made with whatever it is you like. Don't have ground beef? Throw in some leftover chicken. Don't throw any meat in it at all. Your choice. That's the beauty of minestrone. So, I hope you try this, and I hope you enjoy it. And until next time, I'll see ya!